how have you been? And my nails are disgusting. Yay! So I realized these days we only care if it's a Monday or a weekend, and just like that, January, February, March, where has the time gone? So I decided to make a planner that's super easy and efficient, and that will help you keep a track of your progress. You ready? Let's get started. So this is a planner I bought off Amazon. It's a hardbound A5 premium notebook, which I think has a pretty decent thickness to it. And I especially love it because it's an amazing painting called Cafeterias at Night, also known as Café Los Rois, painted by Van Gogh. And I've written down some facts about the painting, like where it was painted and how he describes this place that inspired this painting in a letter to his sister. I simply love this work. On the inside, it has an unruled white pages, which is slightly thicker than your usual A4 size sheets. So I've tried doing this for the last months, like a tracker of habits, monthly goals, but as you can see, most of the pages are empty. So what I'm saying is this time we'll do it right. Third time's the charm. For the cover page, I've outlined some monster leaves with pencil because I am not that talented to do it freehand. Next, I'm gonna take a black gel ink pen. It's an octane gel. I love it because it is smooth and super cheap. I'm gonna trace the leaves in the corner first and then do the center at the very end. I've chosen to do leaves as a theme for this month because number one, it is super easy to draw. I can use these leaves as a reference or a help while I'm trying on to mine. And number two is because it's Saint Patrick this month. I don't know the significance either, but it's green. I have not done this in a really long time. My hands are shaking. Please wish me luck. Here I am leaving some spaces in between my lines because they help give a more realistic look to your drawing. By all means, I am not an artist or a pro. I have friends who have learned and practiced for 10 years. I just do it because it's so much fun. So if I am doing anything wrong, all the artist gurus, please forgive me. Now that I'm done with the leaves, I'm gonna start tracing the text at the very center. You know the oddly satisfying videos on the internet of popping pimples or cutting through sand or crayon? I find these tracing and drawing videos had the same effect on me, as if I'm being hypnotized. Jokes aside, February was personally a very challenging month for me, and last week felt like the ultimate shove to push me over the line of frustration. So I thought it is very important for me to do something that gives my brain a break from the engineered daily routine and do something relaxing. So I thought, why not paint? In case you're wondering, I've used a jar lid to draw this circle around because let's be real, nobody has seen a compass after their 10th grade. Now that the cover page is done, I'm going to use this super cheap sketch pen that I have here and use the black marker ink and paint over the text that we wrote before. I also have some school level watercolor, a jar filled with water and some paint brushes which is going to help me paint over the leaves that we drew before. I'm going to paint over the leaves first and then do the text. Since I'm cheap, I'm going to use this plastic as my color palette. Oh, don't you love the smell of paint and kerosene and petrol pumps? Dendrite used to be my favorite. Comment below and let me know if you like one of these things. upon us. I love spring, it's my favorite time of the year. But let me tell you one thing, it is just March and the sunlight falling on my back has already turned me into a chicken tandoori. Global warming is very real, people. And I'm getting late for work. Damn it, my boss is gonna yell at me again today. Yeah, you heard it right. I'm gonna go to work right after this. Some of my friends ask me, is it hard to have a 9 to 5 and have a YouTube? It is very, very hard. But what is passion without hard work, right? Anything for you guys. So please be sure to subscribe as it means the world to me. I'm going to use the lighter of the two greens and go fill out all of the empty spaces that are there on my leaves. I learned this technique of layering from another YouTuber who is a bomb artist. I'm going to put the link in the description. You can definitely go check him out if you're interested. Some really beautiful content over there. So as you can see, layering with a different color is giving it a more realistic, a more defined and natural vibe to your painting. As our painting of the leaves is done, I'm gonna take a black sketch pen and go over all of the text that I had made. I'm gonna go bold out all of the double edges, and as you can see, if you have made any mistakes, it can be easily covered up. No one has to know. Ta-da! Our cover page is done. Moving on to the next page, I've drawn out the calendar for the month of March and some other things that I'm gonna go over details next. But before that, I'm gonna take a sketch pen. I'm gonna bold out all of these numbers and alphabets so that I have a calendar right in front of me every time I open the journal. Oh, and I also got me some strawberries because I got hungry. In case you're wondering what habits is for, it's usually essential to keep a track of all your habits, such as your exercise, your diet, your healthcare, your skincare, everything that you go for. For me personally, I'm focusing on 3 things. It's my expense because I don't have enough money, I am exercising because the doctor has asked me to, and my video trackers. There are 5 weeks in this month. I'm gonna take the last week pretty easy, so I'm gonna enter 4 weeks here. The bottom corner of it was looking a little empty, so I'm gonna go over and make some monster leaves right over there so that it looks more coherent and more filled up and not as boring as it looks right now. As you can see, I'm going to drop some bars here, which is going to help me keep a daily track of my habits for that particular week. You can do the same thing for your choice of habits, maybe workout. Next segment is going to be where we make our daily entries. So I'm going to put all of the dates along with the days of the month. This is where we are going to put our everyday detailed entries, task of the day particularly. And here I'm just using the brush packaging to use as a ruler because I am very, very poor and I don't have a ruler. And having said of poor, my ink has run out. Please subscribe to my channel. Next, to improvise, we're going to use the black sketch marker and go over these lines to make different segments for everyday entries. I'm going to repeat the same thing for the rest of the month with all of the dates and all of the dates in the next coming 2 pages. Here I am just adding some colors to the monster leaves that we created on the tracker page. This is going to give us a more pop of color on that page and be more coherent with the theme of the journal. Right next to our segment of daily entries, I drew up some cloves and now I'm just using some green color to fill those up. I chose to make some cloves because the point of this journal is for beginners, that is faster to make, easier to make, and is more productive. You can also choose not to add this, but I personally think that a dash of color makes it more fun and interesting than your regular journals. I'm just going to continue doing the same thing for the rest of the daily entries. For the last page, I decided to draw a different type of leaf because I've already drawn the clove leaves for the last 2 pages. So here I'm taking some green colors and just filling out rest of the leaves. Can somebody put a counter on how many times I've said leaves on this video? Go ahead, quickly subscribe to my channel and comment below the number of times I said leaves for this video, and on my next video, I give you a shout out. Here I'm just eyeballing and checking if any of the leaves require any of the details, and I'm just going to do the same thing for all of them with the black color. Here I'm just taking some black color and with a very thin brush I'm just creating some defining stems and some curvatures to the cloves and the leaves that I've drawn before. So I thought that it would be a really cool idea to take some yellow colors and put them as a background for all of the headers that we entered, but in 3, 2, 1, I did not anticipate that the sketch color would bleed. And as part of damage control, I'm using some black paint and going over all of the lines that I messed up. Never underestimate the power of an Indian for jugaad abilities. Ta-da! For the month of February, I had some absolute favorites that I pinned down here. Of course, the BTS Love Myself is there. I have some Taylor Swift Lover and some Selena Gomez. I have the song Appreciated, which is for my mom, and the song called Fly Me to the Moon, which is my absolute favorite, and a song again by BTS called Dimple, because if BTS makes a song about your dimple, you put it on. I'm going to be doing the same thing for the month of March as well. So here I'm using a black sketch marker and going over the text that I drew up with my pencil. I'm specially using this font because it looks like something from the back of a cassette or a CD from the 90s. I also drew up some forward and backward icons to make it more with the theme. At the very end, I have one entry called the monthly goals. This is something that will be an overall major goal that you want to accomplish in this month. And I'm just going to put some stars at the end to decorate it. And with that, we are done with our last page. I'm going to put out my absolute favorite songs for this month, and I'm going to put an update of all of these on my Instagram. So be sure to follow me on Instagram with the same handle, Curious Damsel. And I'm going to put out some monthly goals at the very end of it later on. With that, I think we're done. Here I am making a daily entry for an example for you guys. You can also use this as a daily reminder for your habits, such as drinking water or the number of calories that you should intake that particular day. Something that is very important to me is productivity of the day. At the end of the night, I need to know how much I was productive that day and how much of the task that I've done. Here I've already done the first one, so I'm gonna make a tick mark. Next, I'm gonna do some hearts or clove leaves. This is going to be like a rating star for how much productive I've been that day, and I'm gonna mark it out. And with that, our fresh, leafy, springy, minimalistic cover page is ready. On the next page, we have our detailed calendar. We have our habit trackers, which will make sure that we do not miss on any of our habits. In our next segment, we have our everyday segments, which will help us maintain our detailed entries for everyday tasks. And at the end of the night, you can make sure how much productive you were that particular day. Here we have our playlist. You can change it to your books you read, recipes you cooked. At the end, we have our monthly goals as per your choice. And with that, we are done with our planner for the month. I hope you loved it and this helps you be more productive in life. Thank you so much. I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.